The Accolade, a silent ceremony. In the dim yellow light, the ceremony is underway. The young knight kneels, clad in chainmail, his head slightly bowed. It is a posture of near religious devotion, neither submission nor pleading, but a wholehearted dedication to the faith that one firmly believes in. Before him, the queen stands on stone steps, her golden hair falling to shoulders, calm. She raises her right hand with the ceremonial sword, its blade touching the knight's shoulder. Light pours down from behind her, glinting on the sword's metal, like a sacred seal. This is a 1901 masterpiece by English painter Edmund Blair Leighton. The Accolade. The Accolade was painted in the late Victorian era, a time of advanced industrialization and mechanization. Yet, Leighton looked back to the Middle Ages, a world of honor and loyalty, and the spiritual order of an imagined world. He didn't depict a real historical event, but rather created an idealized order and belief. The costumes in the painting blend styles from multiple centuries. The queen's high-waisted gown, gold embroidery, and flowing silk sleeves belong to 13th century court attire, while the knight's chainmail and shoulder cape are closer to the style of 14th century armor. Leighton intentionally blurred the lines of time, lifting the figures from specific history to be symbolic beings. This isn't a historical recreation, but an artistic reshaping of honor. The painting uses a stable pyramidal composition. The apex is the queen's crown, and the base is the knight's figure and the helmet resting on the ground. The viewer's gaze is guided from the gleam of the sword to the knight's head, then along the red cape and the distant shield, before returning to the center of the painting. This geometric order gives the solemn scene a sense of rhythm. The distance between the queen and the knight is close, yet they are separated by the sword. It is a symbolic boundary, a moment of submission and grace, and a division between the ideal and reality. The background walls and tapestries are subdued, with only soft shadows. The attendants and nobles, standing in the distance, form a silent witness. They do not steal the light or make a sound, allowing viewers to focus on this sacred moment. Leighton's lighting is exquisite. The main light comes from the upper left, focusing on the space between the queen and the knight. The sword, hand, hair, and armor meet in the light, forming the painting's spiritual center. He uses warm golds and soft ochres to balance the solemnity of the ceremony, softening the texture of the cool-toned metal. The brightness of the entire painting darkens from top to bottom, like a transition from the divine to the mortal world. In this great hall, light itself is the tool of coronation. This painting depicts the ceremony of conferring a knighthood, known as the Accolade. The knight kneels, his hands in a prayer-like posture hanging naturally before him. He holds no sword and does not look around, showing complete obedience and respect. The queen's action is not a forceful strike, but a gentle touch, symbolizing the bestowal of an ideal and the transmission of faith. This restrained emotion reflects what Leighton sought: inner drama. True power lies not in clamorous conflict, but in quiet ceremony. Victorian England was experiencing a conflict between faith and modernity. In that context, the Accolade seems to have become a form of collective spiritual compensation. In this painting, people saw that honor still existed, and the illusion that faith could still be bestowed. Today, looking at the Accolade again, we can almost hear that silent solemnity, the sound of the blade touching the chainmail, the faint flicker of candlelight, and the unspoken vows that seem to be lingering and hanging in the air for a long time. Leighton painted no war, no victory, yet he made this scene the purest symbol of the chivalric spirit. In that moment, power is transformed into trust, and honor turns into light. And the knight's posture, kneeling, is not submission to a monarch, but surrender to the ideal within his heart. If the departure depicts the courage of parting, then the Accolade depicts the beginning of faith. Under that silent light, all of human ideals were once given a solemn name: honor.